Hello, my name is Lara Mahal, and I'm the Canada Excellence Research Chair in Glycomics here in the Faculty of Science at the University of Alberta, and also a professor of chemistry. So, what is glycomics, you might ask? Well, glycomics is the study of carbohydrates and actually the collection of carbohydrates that we find on proteins and lipids throughout the body. And my interest is in trying to identify how these carbohydrates play important roles in disease. And so, what do they tell us about the kinds of pathways that happen in disease, the kind of changes that are happening in response to infection from influenza, from COVID-19, what's happening in cancer biology? Can they tell us something about the cancer disease state? Can we use them as biomarkers? But also, can they tell us something fundamental that then leads back to new methods to be able to actually intervene in various diseases and infections? And so my lab actually studies a wide variety of different things, including COVID-19. We're looking at the glycomics of host response to SARS-CoV-2. Influenza, where we've had some very exciting research that we've recently published showing that carbohydrates, in particular high mannose, is increasing in severity in influenza. We think that this may play a role in what makes flu severe in some people and not in others, which is a critical question in diseases, right? Why do some people get very, very sick and other people don't? And one reason may be innate immune lectins, which are actually binding to carbohydrate epitopes that are coming up as part of these infections. And so we see this in influenza. We're currently looking in SARS-CoV-2 to see if that is also occurring there. We also study cancer, where we have had some really interesting work in pancreatic cancer, identifying sugars that are changing as part of the formation of pancreatic cancer and knocking them down and showing that they actually have a role in the formation of cancer. And we have some work that's currently out in bioRxiv and is about to go in submission for peer-reviewed journal. Why should you care about glycomics? Because it's incredibly important and it's very understudied. So the amount that we know about the proteome, about the transcriptome is much, much higher than what we know about the glycome. And these sugars play incredibly important roles. Everything from tuning our immune system, tuning it up in the case of innate immunity, in terms of innate immune lectins that turn on our immune system, tuning it down in the case of things like Cglex, which help us determine self from non-self and actually shut down overactive immune responses, changing the ways that cells migrate, which we see in metastasis, changing the ways that we actually end up getting various diseases, including various types of cancer. And so it's critical. We have this huge gap in knowledge, and our lab is really filling that gap in the area by using glycomics to help other researchers then identify specific sugars and sugar genes that they need to look at in the context of disease. Paying attention to our research, thinking about how this changes the world, well, we have several different things that we're doing that I think really are potentially game changing. So our work, we're working to really start to identify what's going on in immunity. We're working with other people who do other forms of omics to start integrating data and really to start opening the doors to how do we make better vaccines? How, can we start to look at immunological responses in terms of what's happening with the sugars and how are they playing a role? Can we leverage that to make better vaccines to activate our adaptive immune system better? So that's one area that we're really seeking to change things. We're also, trying to say, how can we take a look at, really a wide variety of diseases and add this missing omics that may open up whole new doors of exploration and everything from women's health. We've been working on issues in the microbiome in women's health in the vaginal cavity, all the way to what's going on in SARS-CoV-2. Is it changing composition of glycans in breast milk? Um, does this affect infant health? This is another thing that we're actually starting to study. So we have a really wide variety using our glycomics technology. And so that's what we do, and that's what we've been working on. So we have a wide variety of things, from carbohydrates to microRNA, that are really sort of focused on really helping identify new avenues to improve health in clinic.